Hey guys, it's your boy Set Best here, back again with another video. Obviously, sorry about not being posting for a while. Just not been up to it, to be honest. Not wanted to post and that. So let's get straight into what the title's about. Now, over the past few days, obviously there's been stuff in America that's happening. So I wouldn't be able to have my opinion on the new update for Battlefield or have the new opinion on the next season for Call of Duty. Obviously, when all that's done, we'll probably get it, but yeah, not right now, obviously, due to everything that's going on. So instead, I would like to speak about the other thing about Battlefield and Call of Duty, sort of the rivalry that they've had for the past few years. Now, Battlefield is one of my favourite franchises of all time. I've obviously played Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, Battlefield Hardline 1, 5. Yeah, I've played quite a few Battlefields. Now, Battlefield 4, in my opinion, was my favourite Battlefield due to the fact it was a modern time, modern weapons and that. And it was a lot more of a sandbox than other games right now. Example, Battlefield 5. Now, if you were to compare Battlefield 4 versus Modern Warfare 2019, it'd have a good chance. Now, there's a few videos on YouTube that I've watched on comparisons between the two franchises, like the campaigns and that. And Battlefield 4 still holds up compared to modern day. And in my opinion, that's really good for a game that was made in I think it was 2013 or something like that. Now, Battlefield 5, on the other hand, comparing it to Call of Duty now, obviously there's some bits about Battlefield 5 that are better. Now, in my opinion, the reload animations for Battlefield 5, example the Car 98K, all the gun sounds, you got the MG. They sound a bit better in Battlefield 5, in my opinion, because that's what Battlefield's built to do, and obviously it's based around that time period, so they want to get it spot on. Although in the other games like Modern Warfare, they're not essentially designed around World War II settings. Now, Battlefield 5, although it had a lot of backlash, in my opinion, they did save themselves earlier on. Now, for a while, I didn't play Battlefield 5. I didn't even know Firestorm would come out at one point. Which is a battle royale mode. No one plays it now, which is a bit unfortunate. It could have been a good thing, but obviously, they just didn't give it any support actually. So that sort of died out very quickly. But from a long period of time, I didn't play Battlefield 5, and that's what led to me like play more Call of Duty. Example: Call of Duty World War 2, Black Ops 4, Black Ops 3, and now Modern Warfare 2019. And on top of that, Battlefield 5, the only way it's redeemed itself is through that Pacific Theatre. Now, in my opinion, Wake Island isn't the best map, but obviously some people, each their own. Some people like the Wake Island map, some people think like Solomon Islands is bad, some people think Iwo Jima is bad, like one of my mates does. Everyone likes different maps, but I think Pacific Theatre was probably the best expansion that Battlefield 5 could get out of it. So obviously that was a good step in the right direction, and it was fun, in my opinion, doing the breakthrough. I just constantly did breakthrough and doing the beach landings, even though you couldn't get past that first stage in the first few weeks. It was so fun to do it. It was just so fun, and it was a lot of replayability for once in Battlefield 5. And you found no one, like, surprisingly, you found no one on the other game modes, which was obviously true to its nature, due to the fact that the Pacific Theatre is the only thing people wanted to play, and still is for a lot of people, because the Germans versus British, they do get stale sometimes, because that's been out since the start of the game. No changes whatsoever. But in my opinion, that they've just done really well with that expansion. But that was the only good expansion that Battlefield has had. Well, Battlefield 5 has had in like ever. I don't even know what the next expansion is, the send-off update. But yeah, that was sort of it, in my opinion. The Pacific Theatre, all the way through to when Rona hit. But on Modern Warfare side, now Call of Duty obviously had a bad reputation. It was went through a few years of advanced movement mechanics, example, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and then Infinite Warfare, which in my opinion was one of the worst Call of Duties ever to be made, due to the fact it was just a reskinned version of Black Ops 3, and even worse than Black Ops 3, which was a bit counterproductive to what they wanted to do. Now, obviously they can redeem themselves. Any big franchise like Battlefield or Call of Duty can redeem themselves from the days that have gone by, like their heydays, as they would say. Now, I wish Battlefield could help itself get back up on its feet, but Call of Duty has already done that with Modern Warfare. Now, the amount of hype, it was like when Fortnite started out, in my opinion. There was tons of hype surrounding everything. Example, the new season. Although the season was cancelled, they made just such a good entrance to it. Even though it wasn't that big of a trailer, at the end it obviously showed Captain Price, and that's what got everyone hyped. Like, oh, I want to play Captain Price, I want to do this, I want to do that, this guy's whoa. And that's what gets people hyped. And small things in between, like teasing things, like you had a nuclear weapons in Bunker 11 and that. That's just how you do it. And I've not seen that from Battlefield 5 at all. Now obviously Battlefield 5, there's Easter eggs in every game, there's Easter eggs, but there's nothing to hint at anything, mainly because there's just nothing there, and that's what makes the game, the replayability aspect, a bit worse for Battlefield compared to Call of Duty. Now, realism side, Call of Duty, for one of my favourite campaign missions ever was Clean House. In any game, because it was so realistic, just clearing the house, every time, even though you know what you're doing, it still feels the same, and that's just so fun to do. Seeing the same people drop, like, and knowing where someone's going to be, so you time it and shoot them, whatever. It just makes the game fun to play. Battlefield 5 War Stories, in my opinion, the last tag was probably the only good one. Maybe Nordley, I don't know how you say it, but no one remembers him. Like, seriously, no one remembers him because there's just not that sort of same character development like Price, Gaz, Kareem, whoever. You just don't have that same sort of character development in the story anymore in Battlefield like you did with Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3 and so on. And maybe even Hardline. Like, Hardline had quite a few people who were playing, what characters. Can't remember the names, obviously, because Hardline wasn't a true Battlefield, but you get what you get sometimes. It was an okay campaign. Now, obviously, I've derived off the realism aspect. The realism, Modern Warfare, like I said, is a lot. It's designed around realism. It had military, what do you call it? Military. They point them in the right direction, let's say. They point them in the way that they want the game to be, more realistic. Battlefield 5, however, as you see the trailer, the uproar about how there's females, and I'm not saying females shouldn't be in games, but you destroyed the World War II timeline there, where there were not that many females, maybe the Russian snipers, but that was about it. And the outfit's like a steampunk version of the woman with a plastic arm, whatever it was. That just made the game so much worse to what it could have been, and that realism aspect was thrown out the window straight away. And also when that plane came down and landed and all that, it's like, oh my god, it's like Hollywood, like stuff like that. And even now, a trailer that was released called Steve Fisher, whatever, if you go and watch that on the Battlefield thing, you'll realise is based around Hollywood, like where he shoots down, he misses his bazooka and hits the plane behind and it crashes on everyone, and it's so good, oh my god, and that, and it's just like fake. You can tell they weren't having any idea of realism in that aspect, whereas Warzone and Modern Warfare have that in mind all the time. They're around guns and that, even the weapon customization. And that's what makes the game better, instead of having prototype weapons every single time inside the game. Now I want to go on the final thing that I'm going to talk about on these, and it's gameplay. Now, Modern Warfare, obviously you see a lot of gameplay from me on Modern Warfare. I love the game personally, it's a fun game to play. Not a lot of my friends have it though, which is a shame because I'd rather play it with friends, but you get what you get. And Battlefield 5, quite a few friends play Battlefield 5, but not to the way that you'd probably expect, like everyone's on all the time. No, people don't really play it that much anymore on my friends list, because they say it's get boring, and I understand that, because the gameplay on Battlefield 5, now in my opinion, the plane combat, well, let's get this out of the way first. Call of Duty will not be able to match Battlefield in the way that massive gamers like Conquest and that, Call of Duty won't be able to match that same feeling, like how they've got tanks and helicopters and stuff like that. Now, Battlefield, however, has the full array of vehicles. That includes jets, you have tanks, obviously boats, whatever, you name it, it's probably there. Now, the Battlefield 5, in my opinion, one of the best plane mechanics. I had fun flying around a Mosquito, in a fighter jet, in a bomber, whatever it was fun to fly around in, and that's good about Battlefield. That was what I wanted. At least they did not mess up that aspect of it. Tanks were also a big play. Tanks were fun to fight in. They're a bit more active than other games where you just fire and hope for the best, you kill them first. No, you can destroy different bits of the tank, and that's what made the game even better then. Now, obviously, like I was saying, although Call of Duty will not be able to match Battlefield, the gameplay is what matters. Now, gunplay is also good in Battlefield, and like the gunplay in Battlefield is really good compared to other games, but Call of Duty can also outmaneuver Battlefield in that aspect as well. So, in my opinion, the gameplay of Modern Warfare will be better than Battlefield until the next one, which I hope will be better, because that's just really what we need right now, a better game for Battlefield to sort of revive it. And I think that's about it. I might have missed a few things, but obviously we've got I'm trying to keep the videos shorter than usual. If you need any, if you want to leave any suggestions for any video ideas, feel free. But thank you everyone for 120 subscribers. We hit that a few days ago. That was a good milestone to hit. Just make sure we keep on climbing. Not really got a goal in mind now. Just hoping we can climb subscribers and get more people in. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.